title Divisibility Rules, Math Fun Facts.
As parents of school kids, the most challenging and difficult thing you are facing is how to teach your kids. It's not only require parents' time and patience, but also the appropriate methods to teach them. Mathematics is usually a hard subject for the kids, and an easy and fun way to learn will increase their interest to study more. So today I'm going to demonstrate several math fun factors about divisibility rules. First, I'm going to introduce the divisibility rule for 2 and 5. Then will discuss the divisibility rules for 4 and 8. Lastly, I will discuss the divisibility rules for 3 and 9, which is a little bit more complicated than 4 and 8. So about 1 month ago, my daughter was working on his homework. He asked me one question. Daddy, how can you improve me on the speed on the calculations on the mathematics? Because he got several questions like this. Is 2028 is divisible by A is 4, B is 8, C is 9, D is 11. So it's multiple choice questions. Basically, he had to calculate for each divisors. Basically, he needed 4 long divisions to get his final answers. So he used a very complicated and normal way as long division like this. He wants to see, okay, is every divisor is divisible by that number. Then I took a look. Then I told her, so do you like to learn an easy and a quick way? She was excited. So this is what I tried to teach her. So let me introduce you first is what kind of number can be divisible by 2 and 5. This is a simplest case. So for the number divisible by 2 and 5, usually you only need to look at the last digit of the numbers. For example, 376, you only need to look at the last digit. Last digit is 6. You only need to check if the last digit is divisible by 2 or not. If this last digit is divisible by 2, then the original number will be divisible by 2. Same rule will apply to divisible by 5. So you only need to look at the last digit. If the last digit of the number is 0 or 5. In this case, 110, the last digit is 0. So we can know this number must be divisible by 5. Next, let's move to the divisibility by 4 and 8. Divisibility by 4 and 8 is a little bit more complicated than the 2 and 5. So what kind of number can be divisible by 4? Let's take a look at the first examples, 2012. So we only need to look at the last 2 digits of these numbers. Ignore all other digits. So last 2 digits is 12. We know 12 is divisible by 4. Based on the last 2 digits, we can know if original number can be divisible by 4 or not. So basically, here is last 2 digits is 12. So we know 12 divided by 4. The whole number will be divisible by 4 in this case. Then how about the case for divisible by 8? Instead of look at last 2 digits, we need to look at the last 3 digits. If the number formed by last 3 digits is divisible by 8, then we know that whole number is divisible by 8. In this case, 2032, we know last 3 digits is 32. 32 is divisible by 8, so we know whole number is divisible by 8. But for case of 2012, you know this number cannot be divisible by 8 because the last 3 digits is 12. 12 cannot be divisible by 8, so we can easily know it cannot be divisible by 8. So, give you a more complicated example. Let's look at this 9-digit number, 654275480. If you will use long division to do this number, probably it will take you 20 minutes to get the final answers. But with this method, you only need to look at last 2 digits or last 3 digits. Based on last 2 digits and last 3 digits, we can know this big number can be divisible by both 4 and 8 easily. So next one, we're going to discuss divisibility by 3 and 9. This is more complicated than 4 and 8. And let's look at some examples. For the number divisible by 3, you need to add the whole digit. Take the sum of all digits. In this case, 492, if you add 3 digits together, 4 plus 9 plus 2, you get 15. We know 15 is divisible by 3. If the sum of all digits divisible by 3, we can know the whole number will be divisible by 3. Same rule will be 9. If you add the 3 digits together, if the whole number is divisible by 9, we can know that number can be divisible by 9. So in this case, if, for example, if you have a 9-digit number is 11111, which has 9 ones, how can you easily know it's divisible by 9 or 3? We can just adding them together, we can know this can be divisible by both 3 and 9. So it's easy in this case. So to summary, today we introduced several fun factors about divisibility rules. By 2 and 5, we will only need to look at the last digit of the numbers. By 4 and 8, by 4 we need to look at last 2 digits. By 8 we need to look at last 3 digits. See if we're divisible by 8. By 3 and 9, we just need to look at the sum of the odd digits. See if divisible by 3 and 9. So I hope you will find this divisibility rule helpful and easy to follow. So not only for teaching your kids, but also for your own purpose. If you have any questions, you can ask me later. So I hope I proved to you you don't need a PhD to be a great math. Thank you. Thanks.
The pop quiz will be at the end of the Please take a moment to write down comments for home.